So today, we're going to talk about a recent movie that really got people talking. It sparked this huge debate, and it gets at a really big question for all of us who love movies. When does smart marketing stop being smart and just become, well, a bait and switch?
Okay, so let's get right into it. On one hand, you have The Promise. A movie that was supposed to be this fun, quirky rom-com, and you've got two of the biggest stars in the world in it. What's not to love, right? But then, there's the reality. And the reality was something else entirely. We're talking a dark, really challenging drama, and it left a lot of people feeling totally blindsided. Which, you can imagine, kicked off a massive debate online.
All right, so the movie at the heart of this whole thing is called The Drama, and its entire marketing was built around this huge secret. You had the cast, the director, everyone basically pleading with audiences. Go see it fresh, don't spoil the twist.
And you know, the marketing really leaned into this whole rom-com idea. You look at the posters, the trailers, you've got all the classic stuff. There's Zendaya in a wedding veil, you've got Robert Pattinson looking all charming and a little rough around the edges. The whole vibe just screamed date night movie. So yeah, the expectation was set, it was crystal clear.
But here's where it all changes. And man, is it a big change. The secret wasn't some cute, quirky misunderstanding like you'd expect in a rom-com. No, the actual plot, it revolves around an incredibly heavy and frankly incendiary topic. This quote here puts it carefully, but let's be real. This is what the movie is actually about. A complete 180 from what was advertised. So you can imagine this jarring reveal left a ton of people in the audience feeling totally tricked. And it did not take long for the accusations to start flying. People were all over the internet saying the studio pulled a classic bait and switch just to get butts in seats. And the core of that complaint, really, is that this wasn't just about keeping a spoiler secret. No, the argument is that the whole marketing campaign was a misrepresentation. It sold a completely different movie, and in doing so, it lured in audiences, especially the younger fans of the stars, who were just not prepared for what they were about to see.
And for this side of the argument, it really all boils down to one word: responsibility. You had some publications even saying they had to spoil the secret. Why? Because the theme was just so gruesome, so serious, that they felt it was wrong to let it be a surprise for a bunch of teens who thought they were just seeing the new rom-com.
Okay, but that's just one side of the coin. Not everyone sees it that way. On the other side, you've got a lot of people arguing that, hey, this wasn't a trick at all. In fact, they say that the shock, that element of surprise, that's what gives the film its power.
And this whole thing, it really opens up a much bigger can of worms, doesn't it? It's about how we interact with art. Do audiences need to be protected from challenging stuff? Should difficult themes always come with a warning label? Or does that just dilute the impact of the art itself?
So the defense for this marketing strategy basically rests on that idea. The argument goes something like this. Art is allowed to be surprising. It's allowed to be unsettling. And discovering that true theme for yourself in the moment is part of the intended experience. It's about trusting that we, the viewers, can handle it. And that leads to the other part of this counterargument, which is, well, maybe it's not all on the marketing team. This viewpoint kind of suggests that, hey, we live in an age where you can find out anything in 2 seconds. So maybe the viewer also has a little bit of responsibility to look beyond a single trailer before dropping their money on a ticket. But you know what's really interesting here? To really get why people reacted so strongly, we kind of have to zoom out. Because this frustration, it might not just be about this one movie. It might be about a much bigger trend happening in Hollywood. Think about it. For years now, it feels like the classic lighthearted rom-com has just disappeared from movie theaters. They've all been pushed to streaming services, right? Studios are all in on huge blockbusters, so those fun, mid-budget movies are a rare breed. So audiences feel like the genre is either dead on the big screen, or if one does show up, it comes with some kind of hidden dark message. And we have seen so much evidence that people are starving for these movies. Just look at the absolute phenomenon that was Barbie. It proved there's a huge appetite for big, fun, event movies that aren't just for dudes. And get this, the most viewed trailer last year was for a sequel to The Devil Wears Prada. That tells you everything. People want to dress up, go out, and just have fun at the movies again. So at the end of the day, what does this all boil down to? Well, it's a conflict that's as old as Hollywood itself, the constant push and pull between art and advertising. Let's be real. The marketing department has one job: sell the product, get people into the theater. The filmmaker's job: tell a story. And sometimes those two goals are just not on the same page. This is nothing new, by the way. How many times have you seen a trailer for a high-octane thriller only to find out it's actually a slow-burn psychological drama? It's an old trick, this little sleight of hand, to make a movie appeal to as many people as possible.
And that right there, that's the textbook definition of a bait and switch. You're attracted by the bait, this thing you want, but then you get the switch, something totally different. The huge question at the center of this whole debate is that okay when the product isn't, a toaster, but a piece of art?
Which leaves us with one final big question to chew on. When it comes to the movies we watch, where does the responsibility of the marketer end, and where does our responsibility as the viewer begin? So what do you think? Was this a brilliant artistic choice designed to make us think, or was it just a cynical trick to sell tickets? That right there is the question at the very heart of this great rom-com debate.